Hi, this is Mariami from Shamanessence, and once again I am making another short video, this time about my product line, Shamanessence. I created this product line. I actually started creating it in '96, but I've officially um, made it as 1998, where most of the line was already out and available. I was working with aromatherapy initially, and I got into like the Bach flowers. And when I was starting my Feldenkrais training, I'd say in 1990, 1991. And the interesting thing about Bach flowers was I was curious about it. I'd heard about them. But when I had the little book that came with my set that I got wholesale with my essential oils, that I really was into essential oils, I sort of started looking at all the remedies from Dr. Bach, and I just thought, oh my God, I need that one. Oh no, I need that one too. Oh, I need that one. And I didn't understand at the time that you only use or take what is happening right now in your life, what you're dealing with right now. So at the time, it kind of helped me realize that I had a lot of emotional debris and garbage and issues, and soul issues. It's very, very common. In fact, a lot of people feel the same way as I did. How did you start working with Bach flowers? So I actually put it aside for almost 12 years. Sorry, I've got to retrack. I didn't put away the flower essences for 12 years. So what I put away for 12 years was muscle testing using the pendulum. Excuse me, that was an error. I'm not going to re-record. I'll keep it as it is with all my mistakes. I did start working with flower essences in '96 because I became an apprentice in a store in California, which was very exciting. And being very dyslexic, I wasn't very good at remembering all the remedies except for the ones that I had experienced on myself and how they helped me. And I did realize that Bach flowers at the time, that I only knew of Bach, I didn't know about all the other companies, that they were helping me on a physical level, because I was a very physical person. I was a dancer, a contemporary dancer, and I had injuries, and I found that no matter what remedy I had, if I put it physically on that injury, stopped the internal bleeding and the bruising. And I was like, oh wow, there's much more than just emotional, spiritual concepts that get healed with a vibrational medicine. So I got to put aside making jewelry as a living and apprenticing in this flower essence store. And I found that a lot of the clients or customers that came in were a little bit intimidated by flower essences, because we muscle test to find people's formulas rather than the traditional way when you're trained by Bach, is to interview a person and go by a certain structure that way. We did it all with muscle testing, which was really wonderful. It seemed quite magical at the time because always the perfect formula came with the person's intent. So I've got to backtrack now. What was I saying? Oh yeah, people became afraid to take the flower essences internally because a lot of people were on medication, and they were worried about if it would interfere with their medication, and then they would have to say, I'm going to go to my doctor. And of course the doctor didn't know what it was and thought maybe we're a bunch of quacks, or all different kinds of cases, I'm sure. So we had some aromatherapy in the store, and I came up with the idea, well, why don't we synergize the two together? Because I already was making aromatherapy flower waters and, gifting it to friends. And my actual space and aura cleanser, which is the first product listed on my website, was the first flower essence formula that I made, because it was my face water of lavender and geranium. And I added all the crystals and flower essences for actually cleansing the energetic field in the aura, or oil crystals. It's kind of equivalent to having a dip in the ocean or having a shower. It's just like a very light cleanse. And it feels really good when people spray themselves. They love the feeling of it, and men and women. And it's very balancing for the skin. So I started making these sort of, we were very good at ideas and brainstorming and making these flower essence formulas with vibrational medicine. And then I left this apprentice job, and it took me a long time to financially be able to back up and start wholesaling bottles and products for ingredients. So this is how Shamanessence came about. Already when I was still working in the store, I figured out I was very influenced by Michelle Smallwright's nature research, co-creative science, where we work as a team with nature intelligence from any projects that humans create, because everything that we do as humans is viewed by nature as a garden. So it was about gardening initially with Michelle Smallwright, and then she found out that gardening, our health, our relationships, our projects, our businesses are also gardens. I didn't know all that yet, but I was very interested in MAP, Medical Assistance Program, and I was very much being taken in by working with nature intelligence. And I was not knowing about her soilless gardening. I actually created my own garden, Shamanessence, where I was creating my own products. And a friend made that name for me, Shamanessence, and I think it was in '97. And it's only after I put it online and didn't actually register the .com that the name started to get picked up and given to people, and in apparently in sweat lodges and stuff, where But now Shamanessence is trademark registered my intellectual property. Not that we own anything, but it became a problem when other people were selling similar copycat type products with the same name, and then I had to sort of finally deal with that problem. So yes, so Shamanessence, the product line was on the shelves of Bodhi Tree. I think from 1998, I slowly started putting more and more products on the shelf. So I started with the Space and Aura Cleanser, and then I wanted to make a love potion, and it turns out that this whole thing about love and attraction and pheromones and all that, it wasn't what I was meant to be working with. I was meant to be working with healing the heart, and from that place of healing the heart and opening up that heart for compassion, that's where the love and harmony, well, of course that can sort of go into relationships and so forth, but in fact the whole idea of having a love potion was nature didn't really support that idea. But what was another really interesting thing is that I was very ambitious, I guess. I said I want my formulas that I create, and nature was helping me. I set the intent, and I used nature as a team to help me with the right ingredients. And I asked for these products to be good for 90% of the human population. So I didn't realize how a huge question I was asking for. So not all, but a lot of the product line have a crazy amount of ingredients, and there are over 60 crystals and flower essences. I'm not talking about the essential oils, I'm talking about vibrational medicine. So many ingredients, because everybody gets a different signature, and I had asked nature to help me create a formula that would meet 90% of the populations, that would work on 90%. That's 9 out of 10 people, that formula would work for them. Now, flower essences are usually taken internally, but like I said, I created this line so that people can just spray themselves, and your body electromagnetic field absorbs, the skin is an absorbable organ. You're receiving the healing of those essences. Although all these formulas can be purchased in a 1 ounce formula to be taken internally, but they're not on my website because I'm registered. My trademark register is under cosmetic. Not when it comes to taking formulas internally, as far as trademarking, it's a whole different ballgame. So that people can buy from me privately. Same as the essences for structuring water, which I talk about in my other video. So that's the amazing thing about these products, is everyone is unique to humanity's needs going through our changes. We are moving out of the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, and a lot of things are changing super fast. I have a transitions formula, which is great for those of us who are really struggling with the feeling of everything falling apart and nothing working the way it used to. And here in South Africa, the Relax and Calm is a very popular formula. It wasn't popular in America, and maybe because I should have called it Peace. I called it Relax and Calm, and I was told by a few people that in America, people at the time, maybe it's not the same anymore, but at the time, if we were to relax, we won't be productive. So it wasn't very popular at the beginning, but it did start to take off a little better in the last few years. The Bodhi Tree was still open, because they were my main supplier in LA, the Bodhi Tree bookstore, which is a very famous bookstore that was there for over 40 years, and Shirley MacLaine had helped make it very famous by talking about it in her book. So in America, of course, what you can guess, the bestseller was the Prosperity Formula for quite a few years, and then people were a little bit allergic to the love potion, the love formula. They were sensing something really big there, and eventually the love and harmony started to sell, and that's when I knew that on a the critical mass was shifting onto something new or better in America, that people were open to working with love. Of course, I have a protection formula that also started to do quite well, and an environmental protector, which I found that it was more the health people, the people into raw foods, and the people who were interested in the electromagnetic pollution from Wi-Fi and microwaves, and who were a bit like worried about that kind of toxin in their body. So it was a kind of a niche market, the environmental protection spray, and it still is a bit of a niche market because it's not something that everybody knows about or wants to know about. My best sellers would be, of course, the Love and Harmony. Joy is a great formula, and a lot of mature women were always attracted to the Joy spray. And there was a hip hop artist, I'm sorry I don't recall her name off the top of my head, who released a video on YouTube. It was sent to me by someone, and she mentions the Joy spray that she loves, and then I got this sort of flux of the African American community in America wanting some Joy as well. And unfortunately, since I've been manufacturing in the last 2 years from South Africa, there's been a great problem that I still haven't solved with shipping liquids. It's become a real crackdown on getting my liquids out of South Africa. First it was like 12-day airmail post. It's meant to take 12 days, taking a month, sometimes disappearing altogether. I've actually received parcels back just a few weeks ago that went missing, and I was in the States this year, so I could send out parcels to all the people who I couldn't get the products to. But it is a problem for business, and also because in America we love instant shopping. You just press a button, boom, and it gets sent to you. And I don't have that on my website because I'm manufacturing from South Africa. And so unfortunately I have to tell everybody who is a new customer that at the moment I can only send to you surface mail, which can take up to 3 months. And I don't think people in America are used to that or having to wait. So I'm hoping to resolve that issue, and that's set aside. These formulas are really amazing. They're very powerful. I have a chakra boost, which is just for energy realignment for people who travel a lot. The environmental protection is also good for people who are like nurses and doctors and are in hospitals a lot. Protection is often purchased by nurses, doctors, and people who are very giving, maybe, and maybe don't have very strong boundaries, people pleasers, guilty. So that's a great formula. And grounding and focus started to sell as well as the prosperity. My last years in America, people were really in Los Angeles, La La Land, Hollywood. People were really enjoying this grounding spray. A lot of celebrities would come and buy the products as well, which was great. And I'm more of an artist than a businesswoman, and I have kept it very small. Every bottle I have, obviously I can't make each bottle, that would take hours. Each drop of each essence is sometimes 60, so I have concentrates that I put in here, and each bottle is shaken 108 times. That's my kind of little ritual, and I also structure the water that I use. So it's not something that I can envision a factory making hundreds of and putting them all over the world, which would be lovely. I just don't know how to solve the issue of making them handmade one at a time. It would just maybe put the prices up a bit. But I have kept the prices down in the last 10 years. But now when I buy a lot of my ingredients from the States, things like cardamom oil, I think I paid $28 10 years ago, and now it's like 108 wholesale, and it's like, oh my God, you keep forgetting I'm here in South Africa with a very different economy, and America, the economy is changing there too. So I do try to keep my prices as low as possible, but we'll see how long we can do that for. Please feel free to contact me to ask me which is the right formula for you. I can muscle test long distance, but most people are intuitive. They kind of know what's right for them. There's a choice of 15 formulas online on shamanessence.net, and there's also chakra oils. I have a whole line of 8 chakra oils, also working with the 8th chakra. And when people come for energy and chakra cleansings, I work from sometimes 9, 10, 11, 12, and maybe even higher. But as far as the oils go, I only go up to 8 chakras. And also all of my formulas can be also purchased in concentrates, anointing talismans, anointing amulets, where you have the concentrate formula worn in a medicine bag, and you're getting the frequency all the time. And you can also use it in very small amounts for acupressure points, massage, or making your own bottles. So it's kind of more economical because you get much more bang for your buck with the anointing talismans. So please do try the Shamanessence products. Here in South Africa, we have some of the line at Guru Ramdas Yoga, Ubuntu, Medispa. I've pulled them out of health food stores because I found that the health food stores in South Africa are very different from America, like Whole Foods and stuff. The people were more interested in buying vitamins. They weren't really into vibrational healing, not so yet. So a lot of my sales are online. Okay, thank you. So you can find me, Mariami, on Facebook and on Google at Shamanessence Products and Services and shamanessence.net. Thank you.